Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Sajid back again. So today in this video, let's look at the concept of inner classes. So by now we have studied uh, object-oriented programming, classes, objects, um, polymorphism, inheritance, different topics. Today we are going to look at what are the inner classes. So look at this example. We can have a class inside another class. So this concept, like having one class into another class, is called like Java inner classes. What's the purpose of nested classes? Is to group classes that belong together, which makes your code more readable and maintainable. So this is sort of called like nesting. You're defining a class inside another class. Okay, now let's look at how to access the methods and attributes of inner and outer classes. Okay, next we have another class main, which contains main method, and we are defining outer class object, outer class, my outer is equal to new outer class, right? And then we create object of inner class using object of outer class. Then this is how we define it. Outer class dot inner class my inner is equal to my outer dot new inner class. So this gives us an object of inner class, and above statement gives us an object of outer class. And at last, what we are doing, we are adding these two values, x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 5, by having access to these attributes through these two objects, and the sum will be 15. Okay, let's look at the code here. For example, now if I make it 50 and this also like maybe 50, and now run the code, the answer should be okay 105, because 50 plus 55 we have 105 answer, right? Okay, so let's move forward. Now we have another concept where, for example, inner class is private. If inner class is private, what will happen if we define inner and outer objects and try to access inner class attribute? We will get an error, because what happens, unlike a regular class, an inner class can be private or protected. If you don't want outside objects to access inner classes, declare the class as private. So if you try to access a private inner class from an outside class, an error occurs, as we can see in this example. Outer class dot inner class, inner class is private, so we are not allowed to create object of inner class if it is private. Okay, now we have another concept in which we have static inner class. Okay, an inner class can also be static, which means that you can access it without creating an object of the outer class. Okay, right. Here we have one class, outer class, and then nested class, and this time is not protected or private, it's static, and inner class is static. We can create object of inner class directly without creating first the object of outer class. So outer class dot inner class my inner is equal to new outer class dot inner class, and this give us object of inner class directly. And when I'm doing print line statement, I can have access to this y is equal to 5 attribute, and for example if I make it 45 and run the code, it's compiling and executing, so we have answer 45, right? Okay, I hope this concept is clear to you. It's quite interesting, and it's quite fun to learn object-oriented programming. I hope you are enjoying this. But the concepts are large in number, but easy to understand, and you will memorize them when you do some practice. You write these code examples yourself and try to run them and do experimentation with them. The concepts will be more clear and you will really enjoy it. Okay, now our last example in this video, access outer class from inner class. Okay, here what we have one outer class and inner class. Okay, and what we are trying to do, we are trying to return this attribute x is equal to 10, which is defined in outer class, but we want to return its value from a method inside inner class. So what we're gonna do, we have outer class object, then we define inner class object using outer class object, and then from inner class object we call the method my inner method. So when my inner method is executed, it returns the value of x, which is 10, and this is part of outer class. So this is our example. For example, I make it 101 and run the code. So look at the example here. 101 is the answer. Okay, so that's it for this video. Let's have a recap what we have learned. We have learned that we can define a class inside another class, and it's called nested class or inner class, and we can make object of both classes, and if inner class is private we cannot access it with the help of outer class object. If class is static, we can directly access it without needing to have an object of the outer class first. And then we have tried to access outer class from inner class by having an object of inner class and calling its method, which returns attributes from the outer class. So I hope this has been informative for you. You understood this very interesting concepts, very important for object-oriented programming. I would say, like, if you fully understand object-oriented programming concepts and Java language, in other programming, while understanding the same thing in other programming languages, it will be very easy for you. So pay some attention, do some homework, execute these examples. I would say type them with your own hands again and run them, execute them, make changes, and it will be really good for you. These concepts will become very clear to you with some experimentation with them. Okay, so gentlemen and ladies and gents and my beloved students, I love you so much. So that's why I make videos for you. So I hope this has been informative for you. As I always say, please don't forget to share with other friends and colleagues, and stay tuned. Wait for my next video. I'll be back with another topic on Java programming language. By the time, take care and Allah Hafiz.